All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are moving past the politics side of this course and we're going to start talking about economics. So, what is economics? Important question. So, boiled down to its most purest form, it is the study of how people choose to use their limited resources to satisfy their unlimited wants and needs, right? So, the important part that I want to emphasize for this is the concept of choice and scarcity, right? Because throughout your day, you're going to have, you make a lot of choices that you may not even realize, right? Sleep in or go to Mr. Hoskins' class, bagel or yogurt for breakfast, nap or take a walk, right? And the reason you have to make those choices is because you have a finite or a scarce amount of time and energy in your day. So whether it is something as simple as yogurt or a bagel for breakfast, or it's something larger, like what school to go to, or what you as a company should invest your money in. Every institution, individual, and group in the United States are dealing with these two concepts, choices and scarcity, right? So in this class, we're going to dip our toes into a little bit of both of these things. Microeconomics, micro, small, dealing with how you and businesses interact, right? So understanding the price of gasoline right now, or understanding why the demand for toilet paper is so high right now. That's a microeconomic study. Whereas the macroeconomic study, macro being big, we're going to take a look at the entire economy as a whole and understand what is happening and how those things, what you see on the news is happening and why they are happening, right? When you see unemployment jumping to 25, 30%, what does that mean for the larger components in our economy? And that's what we're going to try and do throughout the next couple of weeks. So, scarcity refers to the limited number of resources, the factors of production, right? And those things would be land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. We'll go over those. And how we use those things to satisfy our unlimited wants, right? Because everything in this world is scarce. Your time is scarce, your money is scarce, your food is scarce, water is scarce, energy is scarce. Now, to us, a lot of those things may not seem scarce, but they are in fact scarce. We have just figured out a system and a way to best maximize the product so that it limits the costs to us. Meaning, like you could leave your water running all day and all night for the next 16 years and you probably wouldn't run out of water. But it doesn't mean it's not scarce. All right? So, those scarce resources, like I said, first one was land. So land is anything that is natural. So gifts of nature, gifts of God, oil, air, soil, minerals, water, plants. All of those things are natural. They do not need any man-made input to exist, right? Labor is you guys. You are the laborers. You are workers, all right? So there's a finite amount of oil in the ground, and there's a finite amount or a limited amount of human capital, human labor, right? You are necessary for the restaurant to function, for the mechanic shop to function. I am necessary for the school to function. Number three is capital. So capital can mean two things, physical capital and financial capital. Physical capital are the tools, the machines, the buildings, and the technologies necessary to produce your product, right? So if you are a mechanic, your physical capital would be the drip pans, the car lifts, the hammers, the screwdrivers, the ratchet sets, the diagnostic tools, all of those things that you use in doing your mechanic job, right? If you are Amazon, your physical capital would be the warehouses that store your product. The assembly line, they're the kind of assembly lines that workers use to get the products off of the shelves and boxed, right? The trucks that deliver the product to your door. All right, but you also have financial capital, and financial capital is the money necessary to produce your product. And then number four is the entrepreneur. So the entrepreneur takes the land, the labor, and the capital, and he or she mixes them up and produces a good or a service, right? So Steve Jobs had an idea. He was like, I want to take a phone, a TV, and a computer and shove them all into one. And he took the resources, the ore, the batteries, the aluminum. He hired workers to produce it. He used his capital, his factories, to produce it, and he took all of those things and he created the iPhone. So when we make choices to deal with our scarcity, we are oftentimes making choices based around the hope to maximize our utility, meaning the satisfaction or benefit a person receives from consuming a good or service. Right? So when we make choices, we go, do I want to eat a pizza or do I want to eat a salad? And you're deciding between the two based upon what you deem to be the utility, right? What are you looking for from that meal? Are you looking for a meal that is going to deliver you tasty, cheesy comfort food, or are you looking for a meal that you're going to feel good about yourself after you eat, right? That's the utility. Now, that utility is going to be different from person to person, but understanding that is an important concept moving forward. All right. And so when we make these choices, we have to consider the trade-offs. And the trade-off is just what is it going to cost you, the choice, right? Because you hypothetically, in this economic sense, you can't have both the salad and the pizza. You have to make a choice, right? And in making that choice, you list the benefits and advantages of making one choice over the other, right? So in the case of the pizza, um, pizza's delicious, makes you feel good in the moment. It's cheesy, it's pepperoni-y, it's just delicious. Now, the benefit of the salad is it's healthier. You don't feel as bloated and disgusting after consuming a block of cheese, right? And it is still pretty tasty, right? So that is the trade-off, and there you are listing the advantages, right? So that's an easy choice. Pizza or salad isn't going to break your life. But some of those other decisions, like where to go to school, what to do after you leave high school, who to marry, what job to take, where to move, those are big decisions, and you weigh the costs and the benefits accordingly. Now, when you compare the top two choices, right, the benefit of the thing that you did not choose, it's called the opportunity cost, right? So if I had pizza or salad, and I chose to eat the salad, the benefit of the pizza was the cheesy, ooey gooey goodness. That is the opportunity cost. I am losing out on the ooey gooey cheesy goodness. All right, so another example is you choose to wake up at 9:30 or you can sleep in instead of coming to my class. You choose to get up and go to my class. The opportunity cost of that choice is the extra hour and a half of sleep you would have gotten, right? Now, another vocabulary word here when we talk about these things is a lot of times you will make decisions based around marginal utility, not necessarily the massive impact. Most of our decisions are not that we make in the day aren't like, do I quit school and move to Toledo to join a traveling gypsy band? Right, that's a pretty big choice. Most of the choices we make in our lives are small, right? A little bit, do I have that extra slice of pizza? Do I sleep that extra 30 minutes? Do I, watch another episode on Netflix? Those are small choices. And so that concept, that small choice is something called marginal. It's on the margins, right? So the law of diminishing marginal utility says that as we get or do more of something, the pleasure we derive from it tends to decrease, and so does our willingness to buy it or do it. So think of it this way. The first Oreo you take out of the pack, excellent Oreo, delicious Oreo. The second one, pretty good. Third one, still, it's okay. By the 18th Oreo, you're kind of bloated and disgusting on the couch going, why did I eat that? Right? That's the diminishing marginal utility. As you consume more of something, your demand for it will decrease. So, hustling through this, my point being, You in an economy have limited resources and unlimited wants. That is the concept of scarcity. Because we have scarcity, that forces all individuals, groups, and institutions to make a choice, otherwise known as a trade-off. And in making that trade-off, we analyze the opportunity cost or the benefit of the option we aren't taking. And that is essentially everything that sums up every interaction in the economy. This simple idea. Okay? Talk to you later.